generation who doesn't know the price. A generation who just wants a mighty army to be raised. Oh God, oh God, oh God. Let me remind us, people of God, we are in the season of the whirlwind. What is the season of the whirlwind? A whirlwind carried Elijah, separated Elisha, and the mantle was dropped from the whirlwind down to Elisha, the next generation. That's where we are now. We're in the season where God is taking all the fathers home. The season of the whirlwind, the generals of faith. Count the last 15 years. Miles Monroe. Oh, Miles Monroe. Kai! He was just flying in his private aircraft with his wife and children. That was the last. John Paul Jackson. Billy Graham. It's not too many years ago Billy Graham was taken. Few years ago Oral Roberts was taken. Few years T.L. Osborne. Oh, it's just like yesterday Reinhard Bonnke was taken. Kenneth Hagin, about 5 years. R.W. Schambach, about 5 years. Benson Idahosa. Maurice Sorello. Oh, the great fathers. K.C. Price. Yonggi Cho. And I can mention many more. I can mention them. But, of course, just last week, our great father, Papa Omar Pai, was taken home. Because there's a season of the whirlwind where God takes the fathers for a generational transfer of mantles to the next generation. And mantles do not fall on people because you wish, you desire, you like it. Mantles go to a generation of people who have aligned themselves. They follow those people bumper to bumper. Where they enter is where they also follow and enter. You have to qualify to carry these precious things, these holy things. You cannot be the Ezekiel of your generation except you have sat under Daniel. You cannot carry that fire and that dimension of grace to be raising and causing revival in a graveyard. When I begin to look at the way the fathers are going home now, and many are lining up, I will not forget the last national PFN meeting at Abuja at Glory Dome, just a few months ago. That time Papa Olma was alive. He was one of the speakers. Adeboye was one of the speakers. Kumiyi was one of the speakers. All the fathers in the 80s. And Adeboye made a very sensitive statement. He said, if you are having spiritual eyes, you will know that we who are coming to minister in this particular PFN, we are already in the departure lounge. Departure lounge is the place you enter before you enter the aeroplane that takes off. So we are already in the departure lounge. And many of us, our mantles are already ready to drop. Hey! And yet, the fathers are going. Where is the Joshua? Where is the Ezekiel to carry the grace that Daniel carried? Let me tell you, brethren, in the next few years, everything that is in heaven is coming down to the earth. Cherubims and seraphims, mantles and batons, every spare parts of the human body, the spare part department of heaven shall be open, and spare parts for the greatest healing revival shall be released on planet Earth. Oh my God. And mantles, they don't drop like that. They drop by alignment. They drop by hunger. They drop by passion. Elijah had several schools of prophets. Gilgal, Jericho, Jordan, and Bethel. He also had at Samaria. He also had at Mount Carmel. In fact, he had 7 schools of prophets. And each school of the prophet was said to have between 150 to 200 prophets. That is almost 1,000 prophets under Elijah. Yet, it's only one called Elisha who qualified to carry mantle. It's only one whose heart is on fire for God. Brother, you can't be casual and end up weighty in the spirit. You have to be deliberate. You have to be intentional. Oh, Jesus, help me and help my generation. I was privileged to be brought up with Papa Omar. I spent 3 years at Tuyo. And when his ministry was exploding at that time, some of us were privileged to get closer to him. And Papa Omar used to visit us in Bible college often and on and release challenges to us. It's Papa Omar who taught me giving God the tithe of your time, which is 2 hours 40 minutes every day, uninterrupted. Two 2 hours 40 minutes on your knees, preferably, so you will not be distracted. 2 hours 40 minutes, you shut down every other thing and give God the tithe of your time, a holy, sacred covenant time with God. Papa Omar taught us from Malachi chapter 3, when you give God tithes, he will open windows of heaven and pour you out blessing you can't contain. Windows is for vision. Windows is for you to see through. Windows of heaven is for you to see into the heavenly realm. Windows of heaven talks about heaven encounters, God encounters, angelic encounters. Sir, if you don't want to be an ordinary common Christian, don't follow the crowd. You need to find the grace to separate yourself, minimum of 2 hours 40 minutes, or just round it up as 3 hours. Holy unto the Lord. Switch off your phone. Papa Omar taught me this almost 40 years ago and said to me, Theo, I, your father, I give God double tithes. I give God 6 hours every morning, constant. Papa Omar said, I've been doing that from the age of 15. And I'm still on it up to today. I've never missed one day. If you enter Papa Omar's bedroom, Papa Omar's bedroom is about 2 times the size of this pulpit, this altar. It's a very big bedroom. And all around the sides of his bedroom, he has bookcase loaded with books. The books of Papa Omar are multi-millions. More than 10 million naira worth of books. And Papa Omar will tell you, you want to know my secret? Number 1, knowledge. If you're not ready to study, just like a young man I say came to me just last week, he said, Daddy, Papa, lay hand transfer. I said, boy, can you find your way? Do you know I study 3 hours every day of my life? And you think it's just to lay hand and you catch everything I carry. My friend, can you disappear? Papa Omar, after showing you his books, he will show you his altar where he kneels down 6 hours a day. And he has been doing that for over 60 years. Sir, there's nothing like gifts of power. Any man you see that carries power and grace, there's the price they pay in the secret. I remember when I went to meet him about 2 years ago. I was able to meet him also before he died because I saw him in the dream slump. And the Lord said, get to Uyo fast. Let him pray for you and lay hand and release a final impartation of blessing before he's taken home. But when I went to meet him about 2 years ago, Papa Omar asked me, Theo, are you still giving God the tithe of your time? Are you still living a fasted life? That I, your father, I fast 280 days every year. No leave, no transfer. Any day I stop, God will stop. So I thought that when he says, thou power of God, in Jesus' name, move, I thought it was dash from heaven. Brother, if you're not ready to fast the same 280 days every year and pray 6 hours a day, you will carry a microphone and say, thou power of God, move. The only thing that will move is your air coming out from your mouth. Because there's a price men pay in the secret. And now that generation has gone. And the Joshua generation are on ground. Where is the Joshuas that are following bumper to bumper? I don't know if there's a Joshua here. I don't know if there's an Ezekiel here. That is my own responsibility tonight. And I'm not here for everybody. I came for one man. I came for one woman. My burden is, oh God, raise a Joshua, raise an Ezekiel, raise somebody that will not be like other youths. Raise somebody that will be like Ivan Roberts. Ivan Roberts, he never joined them to play football. He never involved himself in sports. He doesn't go to party. He doesn't go to any of the nightclub. Ivan Roberts, from the age of 13, he was living a fasted life. From the age of 13, Ivan Roberts started praying 5, 6, 7, 8 hours a day. Why? Because the country of Wales is known as the country of revivals. There is no other country that has witnessed so many heaven-sent revivals as the country of Wales. They had a massive revival in 1762, another powerful one in 1859, then 1866, 1879, 1887, and Ivan Roberts was born not too long after these national revivals, and he heard the stories of how men paid the price, how men locked themselves and women and prayed and prayed and prayed until the heavens was open. And right from the age of 13, that spirit entered Ivan Roberts. He couldn't join other groups of people. He was always fasting, praying, God, I must see your glory in my generation. God, I must see your power in my generation. He prayed for 13 years. By the time he was 26, he was praying 8 hours every day for the outpour of the Spirit. And met his senior pastor and said, Pastor, please, I hear the sound of abundance of rain. I sense the heaven wants to break loose. Can you allow me to call for the youths of this church to join me for all night tarry nights, every night, until the heavens will open? Pastor, I don't know how many days or weeks or months we will be on that prayer, but we will gather every night to pray for God to come again to this country of Wales. And the pastor said, go ahead, announce. And he announced. And 26 youths joined Ivan Roberts. And they prayed all night. From 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. for heaven to move again. They prayed the second night. They prayed for 1 week. They prayed for 2 weeks. Heaven was closed. 2 weeks, one day, the glory came down. The power of God hit that place. And those young men and women, mantles of God's presence enveloped them. And within 6 months, they started moving around the streets and towns and cities and villages of Wales. And in 6 months, every single person in the nation of Wales was swept into the kingdom. Every nightclub closed down. Every drinking parlor closed down. Oh, Father, do it again. Hey! It got to a point that the man in charge of the police at Scotland Yard sent a message to the man in charge of the police in Wales and said, "Sir, this is 3 months. You have not given us reports." And the man at Wales sent a message back, "I have no reports to give to you. There's no crime. Everybody in the whole nation is born again. Everybody, nobody goes to nightclub. They are all in the church from morning to evening every single day." And the man at Scotland Yard sent another message. Then what are the police doing? Because we are paying them money. What are they doing with their time? And the man at Wales sent the message back. All the police, they are all members of prayer squad and members of choir. Makai Saturia Elisa Pratoria. Oh, Father, do it again. Holy Ghost, do it again.